chess fans.
Hello again. Um, I'm gonna look at another game analysis here between uh, Zukertort and Steinitz in the Game 5 of the 1886 World Chess Championship. This game has been played in the USA. Going to the game. So Zukertort has the white pieces and Steinitz on the black pieces. The opening is Slav defense. Okay, let's turn off the light, please. Let's start the first move. All right, d4, d5. White is offering a gambit there on c4. The black declines it. Knight c3. Knight f6. Okay. Steinitz begins to position his his light square bishop there. Okay. Captures on d5. Black captures. White has a threat on the pawn at b7. Okay. Black defends the pawn, retreats his bishop. Knight f3. Tuck on the center there. Black opens up his dark square bishop, and white does a pin. Threatens to capture the knight on c6. Black defends the knight. I think the idea there is to put the rook at c1. threaten the queen and take advantage of the c1 file. Defending the knight. Castles. And proceeding according to plan with rook to c1. Okay, black captures the knight. White captures, opening up the f file and threatens the knight at f6, which is the best defender on the black's castled king. Knight retreats back. And Zukertort castles, taking advantage of the open f file. White's position looks promising for attack on the king side there. Black's castle king. Offering up a pawn exchange. However, that move weakens the pawn on a6, because now the pawn at a6 is now vulnerable to attack, and it's got only one defender at this point, which is the bishop. Okay, so now white positions for an attack at the h7 pawn. Rather defensive move there by black. Okay, white starts the battery. And blocks the f file, or blocks the battery, blocking that diagonal by the bishop and the queen. Okay, I think the idea now for white is to attack the weakened e6 pawn. Bishop comes out. Intending to do a rook battery on the f file to further the pressure on the king side. Okay. White closes up the C file with that bishop move. Okay. Just repositioning. Opening up the C file for black. And opening up the bishop diagonal. Okay, so here goes the battery. Rook battery on the F file. Proposing a trade with bishops. Declines it. Ooh, interesting move. So black can't capture that sacrifice because of the rook at f7 is vulnerable to attack, vulnerable to capture. Okay, so a defensive move. Looks like Zukertort is opening up a place for his king to move, so that the rook has a place to so that he can put his rook on the G file. Okay, so defensive move again. Removing the pin of the bishop. Okay, so now white is threatening to capture the weak e6 pawn. It's got two defenders at this point, the knight and the queen. Interesting move. Where is he trying to go? Okay, so white captures, Black captures. So now there is now an open G file. Okay. White takes advantage of the open G file by positioning his rook and pinning the knight to the king. Okay, a defensive move. White is planning to do a rook battery on the G file, furthering his pressure, intensifying the attack. Okay. Okay. Executes the battery. Let's see. Okay. White positions his queen to help out on the attack. Let's see what's Steinitz move is. Okay, brings down the pawn on the queen. So now that move left the weak e6 pawn with only one defender, only the knight. Okay, so what happens here? Oh, sacrifice. And white wins. Steinitz resigned. Okay. So if black captures the rook, captures there, white captures back, and if the king captures, then we have a knight fork here. With a free rook. Yeah, material advantage. Okay, so what is the biggest takeaway, biggest lesson on this game? Let me go back. Yes, that move is a blunder because it removed one defender of the a6 pawn. So yeah, the biggest lesson of this game would be the weekend e6 pawn and the uh, the reduction in the defender of the weekend e6 pawn, because then after black's knight, which is the lone defender of the a6 pawn, is taken away, then it'll just lead to fork with white knight, as I showed you earlier. Yeah, those are the key takeaways. So if you move your pawns, just be very careful not to weaken your overall pawn structure, and if you're moving your major pieces that are defending a weak pawn or a weak piece, just be careful of removing the defender, because it will lead to further attack and trouble. As we've seen in this one, it resulted to a fork of the king and rook. Alright, so that's it for this game. Hope to see you again next time. Cheers. Have a good one.